Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Bitwig Studio and Music Production. This is lesson 3.10, and in this lesson, we're going to talk about how we can control our various mix parameters. And so for us, that means specifically our volume and our panning. You probably wouldn't be surprised to know that there are multiple ways to do this inside of Bitwig Studio. So I've made a drum loop using just one-shots from that Beatport collection of samples. Again, it doesn't matter what you're using. This is purely for example. So what I've done is I've just brought these in and I've made no additional changes at all. All I've done is just kind of arrange these out so we can listen to this masterfully crafted drum loop here. So maybe the first thing I notice is that this little crash here seems to be really, really loud. So maybe I could just pull the volume down on that. And we have on each and every track a little volume slider here. And so if I wanted to, I could make that change right here. So we'll play it back and I'll make the change. Maybe doing a little lower. Okay, that works for me. But if I wanted to adjust the panning, I don't have like a knob or anything like we normally would see in other digital audio workstations. One way I could adjust the pan if I wanted to was to open up our automation, select pan right here, and it's going to be under your mixer section and then pan. And all I have to do is just click and drop this down. So maybe we want to put it way into the left channel. We could do that. We could send it all the way 100% off to the left. But that actually doesn't really sound all that great. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete that for now and talk about another way you can control your mix parameters. So if you click on the actual track itself and you open up the inspector view, we're going to have our full-blown little mix engine here. So we have control of panning and we also have control of volume. And if we had devices in here, like if we had effects or if we were using an instrument, we would see all of that right here and we could double click it and have immediate access to it. So let's just pull this back. Looks like there's a little bit of a glitch there. That's fine. And I'm just going to make a simple little pan adjustment to this. Maybe we'll put it off just a little bit to the left. There seems to be some inherent stereo widening. So let's make it noticeable. Cool, I like it where it's at there. That works for me. So we could go in and we could adjust this on all of the tracks if we wanted to, but that would probably get a little bit tedious. So one more thing we could do without even having to leave our arranger page is just to select this little icon here, and this is the show mixer panel. You can just pull this up like that, and now you can see what we're looking at from top to bottom has now been arranged from left to right. So I no longer need my inspector panel, and I can pull this up a little bit, and now I could make all my changes. So if I was a little bit smarter, I would have renamed these to something logical. Let's just play through and get a little more organized. Okay, cool. So now we're organized. Now I can see what I've got going on down here at the bottom, and I can make some more changes. So everything is kind of getting in the way of the kick drum right now. So I'll probably pull down my other hits that are corresponding with the kick. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with those volume adjustments there. We could also mess with the panning to try to give everything its own place here in the stereo field. But to do that, let's look at the third and final place. And actually, there really are other places you could do this too, but at least one of the more logical places is to go to the dedicated mix view right here. And you notice that we have now lost our ability to bring up the mixer panel, and that's because we have it right here for us. So I can just pull this down here. I can click play, and it's going to be playing back from our arranger. And I can make my changes here. So let's make a few changes to the pan, and let's just clean this up. As I've mentioned before, all you have to do is kind of turn these things on and off to see what you need access to. So right now, I actually could pull up just the big meters, and I don't even need to see our clip launching because we're not using clips. So let's get this going. Okay, cool. So I'm pretty happy with the way that I've mixed between those different elements with the drums. This isn't by any stretch of the imagination a guide to how to mix a drum loop, but I'm just showing you where you can go to make some of these adjustments, because in the next video, we're going to talk about our first creative project idea, sort of a brainstorm for you to get yourself out there and start creating. So thank you for watching, and I'm going to head back to the Arrange page for now, and I'll see you again in the next lesson.